Ref, do something. You've seen the comments. Everybody thinks they know the rules. But what's the correct call? Welcome to part 1 of Ref Do Something, the series where we take the internet's most controversial basketball plays, look at what the fans had to say, and go directly to the rule book for the final ruling. We have 5 plays today. Watch each one, make your call before I reveal the answer. And let me know in the comments if you agree. Officials, players, and fans, let's see who really knows the rules. Let's start with play number 1. The ball is loose and heading toward the boundary. Watch white number 12 and the player in black chasing after it. The comments were split. Some viewers wanted a foul, while others thought number 12 was simply making a smart play and shielding his opponent from the ball. But let's slow it down. Both players are entitled to pursue a loose ball. However, white number 12 moves laterally into his opponent's path and uses his hip and body to prevent him from continuing toward the ball. NFHS Rule 10, Section 7, Article 1 states that a player may not impede an opponent's progress by extending an arm, shoulder, hip, or knee, or by bending the body into anything other than a normal position. If number 12 had already established a legal position and simply held that position, we could let this go. But the late movement and extended hip create illegal contact and prevent the opponent from reaching the loose ball. The ruling, a blocking foul on white number 12. Would you make that call or would you let them play? Drop your ruling in the comments. Play number 2, offensive foul or defensive flop?
Stop. Back to ESPN court 1. Oh! All right. We good.
Watch black number 1's off arm as he begins his drive. Some viewers believe the defender exaggerated the contact. Others say the ball handler clearly pushed off to create separation. Let's slow it down.
Back to ESPN court 1. Oh!
Purple number 30 establishes legal guarding position and moves laterally with the ball handler. Under NFHS rules, a defender does not have to remain completely stationary after establishing legal guarding position. NFHS Rule 10, Section 7, Article 1 states that a player may not push or impede an opponent by extending an arm. The defender falling does not automatically make this a foul, but the visible arm extension and resulting displacement do. The ruling, a player control foul on black number 1. No free throws are awarded and purple receives the ball for a throw-in. Do you have an offensive foul, a defensive foul, or a no call? Drop your ruling in the comments. Play number 3, travel or clean. Watch closely and decide when the player ends his dribble and gains control of the ball. At full speed, this looks like a smooth 2-step finish. But under NFHS rules, we must identify the pivot foot, not simply count the steps that happen near the basket. The player secures the ball with both hands while both feet are off the floor. His right foot is then the first foot to touch the floor, making it his pivot foot. He steps onto his left foot, which is legal. However, his right foot then returns to the floor before he releases the ball for the shot. NFHS Rule 4, Section 44, states that once a pivot foot is established, it may be lifted for a pass or try, but it cannot return to the floor before the ball is released. The ruling under NFHS rules, traveling. It may look legal because viewers are accustomed to the NBA gather step, but high school rules require us to judge exactly when control is established and what happens to the pivot foot. Are you calling the travel in real time, or did this move fool you? Play number 4, out of bounds, traveling, or completely legal. The player in orange saves the ball. His momentum carries him out of bounds, and then he returns to the court and becomes the first player to touch it. A lot of people believe another player must touch the ball first, but under NFHS rules, that is not always true. Let's slow it down. He releases the ball back onto the court before touching out of bounds. His momentum, not a voluntary decision, then carries him across the boundary. He immediately returns to the court and reestablishes himself inbounds before touching the ball again. NFHS Casebook 7.1.1, Situation D, specifically states that a player may legally save the ball land out of bounds, return in bounds, and be the first player to touch it. The controlled toss to the floor begins his dribble. Therefore, he may return and continue that same dribble. He just cannot catch the ball and then begin another dribble. The ruling. This is completely legal. No travel, no out of bounds violation, and no illegal touching. Great hustle and a great no call by the officials. Did you know he was allowed to touch the ball first? For our fifth and final play, blocking foul or player control foul. Watch the secondary defender in the white shirt. Does he establish legal guarding position before black number 15 becomes airborne? At full speed, the defender's fall makes this look questionable. But falling does not determine whether the call is a block or a charge. Let's slow it down. The defender gets both feet on the court with his torso facing the ball handler before number 15 becomes airborne. That establishes legal guarding position under NFHS Rule 4, Section 23. After establishing that position, the defender does not have to remain perfectly stationary. He may move laterally or backward to maintain his position. Number 15 then drives through the defender's torso and creates significant displacement. The defender is entitled to that space even though he is positioned underneath the basket. NFHS rules do not use the NBA restricted area rule. The ruling, a player control foul on black number 15, no basket, and no free throws for the defense. That completes part 1 of Ref Do Something. How many of the 5 plays did you get right? Drop your score in the comments, subscribe to Offlete, and come back for part 2.